All right, everybody, welcome back. Good evening. Feels a little bit too late to call it evening, but regardless, got some more college football stuff to take a look at, got some more prospects to talk about. We're doing the defense now, and better week for the defense overall. I think the defense actually had some things that I was relatively enthused by. There was definitely some good stuff happening here. And we're starting to get, I feel like, a little bit of a roadmap for what the Seahawks should be looking to do in the draft, because with so few picks, the path that they walk kind of becomes more defined. Like you don't have the option to try to address a bunch of stuff in day three anymore because you don't have very many day three picks. So kind of nice, and I'm starting to get a good feel for what we should be looking at. Back in 60 seconds. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you about Sleeper, a one-stop shop for all your sports needs. You can celebrate and chat on sports games in real time with other users. You can get the fastest scores, blazing fast sports news and sports alerts right at your fingertips. And of course, you can use Sleeper to play in fantasy leagues and win real money on picks contests. This is the way sports were meant to be enjoyed together. So download Sleeper today. Use promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. And you can pair that with another promo they have right now where you can get a $20 entry free with no deposit required. So get both of those things going. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and growing. So check out Sleeper today. Get to it and go have some fun with sports this year. All right, welcome back. So, nose tackle. Again, I like this nose tackle class a good deal. And we're definitely now at the point where it's it is nice we still have both of our day two picks, because I do think there are going to be a couple nose tackles that go in day two. Caden McDonald is one who could go, I'd say, in round two. If he really is a nose tackle, there's a little bit of debate there, but he had a great game for Ohio State. Obviously, life's easy when you're part of that team, but 8 tackles. OSU only allowed 55 rushing yards to Penn State, 1.8 yards per carry, 71.8 PFF grade. If he is a nose tackle, I think he's starting to become the premier nose tackle in this class. I just don't know if he's actually going to be able to be an NFL nose. It's not entirely clear. So that's something we're going to have to try to figure out during the off season. Dominique Orange of Iowa State, 2 tackles and a pressure for him. Iowa State got ran all over by a Arizona State with their backup quarterback that was running. It was almost like wishbone. They were practically running wishbone in Arizona State, but 290 rushing yards allowed, 6.3 yards per carry. The thing is, Iowa State's defense didn't play badly. They just got run all over, but the rushing yards didn't hurt them that much. 74.1 PFF despite all those rushing yards, and Jaheim Otis, still going to throw him in here. There's not much to say. He was graded well by PFF, 71.9, but only 1 tackle in Colorado. Not having a good year at all. Not really a good team. 204 rushing yards allowed, 5.4 yards a carry. Nothing really good going for that team, and it looks like they may end up having to blow it up after this year. The edge rusher group continues to be, I think, a real highlight of this draft. I really like these edge rushers. The TTU brothers showed up again. David Bailey only had 1 tackle, but it was a sack, and he had 8 pressures. So lives in the backfield again. 76.7. He may end up becoming like the ideal Seahawks first round target. If things keep going the way they're going, he will be one of my top guys because he's graded to land somewhere in that late first. He may end up being the guy that I get behind as a first round pick. Quincy Rhodes Jr. of Arkansas coming on strong here. 4.5 tackles for loss, 6 tackles total, a sack, forced a fumble, and had 2 pressures. The only reason why his grade wasn't elite was he had 2 penalties, but he absolutely wrecked the offense in this game. 70.3 PFF. Romello Height, the other Texas Tech guy, 2 tackles and a sack. He also forced a fumble, and he had 4 pressures, so not one of his best games, but still very good, very effective. 90.4 grade. Gabe Jacas, haven't talked about him a lot lately, but I like him. Illinois, 4 tackles, 2.5 for loss, 2 sacks, and 4 pressures. Very productive over there in Illinois, 77.1. And Mikhail Kamara of the Hoosiers. Not a huge game or anything, but continually makes his presence felt with 5 pressures, 2 tackles, 67 PFF grade. That's it for the edges. Pretty good week for linebackers as well. A lot of the high-profile guys did really well. Jake Golday, not necessarily a high-profile guy, but he'll be like a 4th-round pick, I think, the Cincinnati guy. 12 tackles, did miss 1 tackle, picked up 2 pressures. Coverage was his problem this week. Allowed 48 yards on 2 catches and a touchdown, but other than that, really good game. I view him as like one of the premier day 3 linebackers this year. I like him. Both OSU linebackers are here as well. Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles. Get used to that, by the way. They're both really good, and they're playing on the best team in the country. So they're going to be here a lot by default. 12 tackles, including 2.5 for a loss for Reese. A sack, 3 pressures. Allowed 5 catches on 6 targets, 44 yards, 66.7 PFF. And Sonny Styles, not quite as big in the stat category, but 6 tackles and a pass breakup. Had a pressure, did allow 4 catches, 23 yards, but that's pretty reasonable, no problems. 72.2 PFF, and part of a Ohio State offense that played really well against Penn State. C.J. Allen, Georgia, I think he led the way in tackle count for the high-profile linebackers this week. 13 tackles, only missed 1 tackle. I had a quarterback pressure, allowed 2 catches on 4 targets for 12 yards, so no problem there, 71.5. And we've talked about this guy before, Jacob Rodriguez. He's another probably day 3 guy from Texas Tech, but he's doing good this year. Forced 2 fumbles, had a tackle for loss, broke up a pass, 5 tackles total. Did allow 5 catches for 51 yards on 6 targets, not great, but made a lot of plays near the line of scrimmage, 90.9 PFF grade, tough to beat it. And finally, we got some cornerbacks I want to go through here from this week. We got Colton Hood, Tennessee, had 6 tackles and a pressure. Allowed 21 yards in coverage on 4 targets. Decent. Tennessee's obviously been missing their top corner all year, so Hood has had to step up, and he's done a pretty good job, 71.6. Heath Abney II, other than the penalties, he was probably the best performer this week. Broke up 2 passes, allowed 9 yards on 6 targets, 3 tackles, 73.2, even with the 2 penalties, which is really hard to do. So Keith Abney, man, he's definitely in that day 2 range now. We got Chris Johnson, San Diego State University. So first time he's been here. First time we talked about San Diego State this year. 2 tackles, allowed 1 catch for 1 yard on 2 targets. So the stats aren't huge, but super clean, 77.1. Chandler Rivers of Duke. Talked about him before. 5 tackles and a pass breakup. Also got a pressure on the quarterback. Did miss 1 tackle. Allowed 23 yards on 3 targets, 2 catches total, 76 PFF grade. D'Angelo Ponce of Indiana, another guy we've talked about a lot already. 3 tackles, allowed 0 catches on 1 target. And generally speaking, they didn't even try to throw his way, 70.8. Liking what I see from him as well. All right, that's it for this week. Let me know what you guys think. See you guys soon. Go Hawks.